I'm alone. There's no one here beside me. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone live, I guess. My name is Justin Sofro. It's September 16th. It's a Thursday. Thursday prior to game day. I guess we got a couple of days. But we're going to get into a little bit. We got a few things I want to hit on today. Talk about Milan, previewing the game coming up this week. Going to see, really, there's a few things that I want to talk about. I want to get your all's opinion on in the chat. Appreciate everybody for joining us today. If you could, like I said, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, join the community of the channel that we have got here, as well as also hit that like button, and also make sure your bell icon is hit to turn on for those notifications. I think for some reason, YouTube lately has been kind of sucking, and it hasn't been sending out those notifications sometimes, so it can kind of be a pain in there. But I want to talk about a few things. This isn't our preview. Let's not get it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm not the guy that's going to really break down everything when it comes to Milan and previewing that. But definitely want to talk a little bit about our squad going into Sunday, because Sunday is a pivotal match for Juve for what we have going forward in the season. Honestly, I don't want to use this term. A lot of people like to use this term. I tend to avoid it because it's actually, I don't mind this term. Okay, never mind. What am I saying? I'm full of crap. I like this term a lot. A must-win situation. And I think Sunday we might be heading toward a must-win situation against AC Milan, against the Rossoneri, and what that means for Juventus' season. Just because if there's anything we learned from last season, and I understand people are going to go and pivot back to 2015, 2016, that run that Allegri went on and all that after starting out slow as well. I don't think it's equal. I don't think all things equal are the same overall, personally. But what I will say is I think this is a turning point for Juventus this season. It needs to be a positive swing for Juve, just because if you were to end up losing another match, dropping more points, like at some point you're getting close to relegation zone. And I'm not going to cry and moan and scream. It's not going to happen. Juve's not going to be worried about relegation or fighting against relegation, but just being near that side of the table for any period of time. Juve is not Arsenal. Let's just say that. It's not going to happen. I don't want it to happen, but it's just one of those things that it worries me about the season. Also, there are a few things that go along with that. With if Juve were to lose, what that means to me personally. So first off, the first topic of conversation that I really want to bring up, and I'll get into the chat here in a little bit, guys. I do want to talk a little bit, and then I'll actually start getting into it because I know I will get completely derailed. But I will say hi to the few people we have here that I see right now. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Haneen? What's up, Fix? What's up, Crazy Ray? Look at Curry Man and Usman, Adi, and I think I said Crazy Ray already. Yes, I appreciate you guys for joining the channel today, hanging out, do some talking about Juve going into what we can expect for this weekend, and then also what I'm really talking about is some things about why it's important, why this weekend's important to me. If you're here right now and you don't know that this weekend's important, get a pulse. That's all I can really say. First topic that I really want to bring up is the importance of I mowed the lawn today. So I was out mowing, and I'm all dehydrated already. So I'm going to have to make sure I stay hydrated during this, especially since it's just me today. Actually, let me do that before I get into the first topic. Julian's out. Alejandro is also out. He may join the show later. He's got a family emergency, but hopefully one of them, not Julian, but maybe Alejandro will join later. If not, you got me, and then I'll dive into all. I usually give the chat plenty of their attention that I feel like you guys deserve, and appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. What's up, Mirko, as well? All right, first topic that I really wanted to bring up was just about Chiesa and his health and his situation. Basically how likely he is to return for the match on Sunday. It seems like it's leaning pretty well. Some positive signs there. He's returning to training. I believe he and Federico Bernardeschi return to training for Juve, so that way they can actually get some, get a little bit of run in, a little bit of practice in before that matchup. I don't want to come in a little too harsh, but I still don't understand. I know there's been people who've let left comments. I think Haneen, maybe you did, and I apologize. I've been so bad with comments. I've been trying to. My work schedule's been a mess. I will get to the comments. Maybe I'll have to go today or tomorrow if I have some time and just go back for like 9-10 videos and just respond to everybody. But I completely understand, and maybe I'm wrong. Haneen, maybe it wasn't you. I apologize if it wasn't. But I know some people were commenting, basically saying, "Do you really want him to get injured? Do you want him to aggravate something further?" And no, that's not the case. I don't want him to get injured. But at some point, when is the moment that you step up? And when's the moment that you step up for your team in dire situations when things are starting to get difficult? Right now, things are starting to get, you had that bright spot from defeating Malmo. But at the same time, things are still what I would say is dire. You still have dire straits when it comes to the Serie A because you have 1 point. You got one sad little point sitting there next to your name, and you're sitting, in the bottom half of the table, a place where I don't like to be, a place where I'm not comfortable being. So that's what kind of my point is. Like, when's the point is like if it's just a knock, if it's not, it's an ACL tear, it's not, it's not an ankle sprain, it's not whatever have you. And I'll give people credit because I understand when I talk about injuries, like it's easy for me to sit here in my big ass comfy chair, sitting here acting like, like it's me yelling and screaming, "Go get off your ass and go play a game." That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm saying. The thing is, I just have to think if you're Chiesa and he's a competitor and he's one of those guys that wants to go out there and win and he wants to see Juventus succeed. At what point, what is the chance? Him slipping in. Okay. Yeah, I'll get into some of these chats. Sorry, I'll come back in. Maybe I'm wrong, but at some point, when do you get out there and play? Yeah, maybe you're right. I think Haneen made a comment. I'll go and bring it up since we're talking about it. Said, "What? It's a coach's choice who to play. It's not about him stepping up." Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe I'm coming a little bit too harsh with my wording when I say stepping up. But like at some point, like if you're a player, if you're a competitor, you can get out there and be like, "Dude, I'm gonna play. I need to play today." The second leading scorer from last season. That's one of my points of view when it comes into Chiesa's health. Hopefully, I guess I'll just say this. I'll leave it at this. Give me your all's thoughts on the Chiesa matter, because I'm sure, Okay, sorry, I saw this one. Okay, Mirko said Chiesa's good to go. That's good to see. And they also said Berta is still feeling some pain when trying to kick, so it's still out. You will be missed, Bernadeschi. You will be missed. That's all I can really say right now. Give me your thoughts if I'm coming a little too hard about Chiesa. Yeah. And I think looking back, a lot of these decisions end up being the right decision. I know how I felt. And I know the spot that I felt like I was in against Malmo, where it was a do or die situation. They didn't die, and it was one of those teams that you have to go out there and beat. Like, no offense if Raffles in the area, if he's coming in later. Malmo's not a team that you can really lose to in that situation. But anyway, so hopefully Chiesa will play. Like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of people really giving strong takes when it comes to Chiesa, or my take about Chiesa. So I'll go ahead and move on from that main. That was the main one that I wanted to lead it off with. But then I wanted to actually get into a conversation about. So, what do we think happened when it came to the Malmo match? Tuesday. Was it? Could you sweep this one under the rug as in it's Malmo? It's a Swedish club, one of the better Swedish clubs, but a club that's really not, obviously not on Juve's level. One thing we can say looking around right now, and then that Juventus, it's one of the give me games that you get in Champions League that you have to go out there and win, and you should win. If there's one thing we've seen, and I've noticed it's been quiet in the chat lately. It's been real quiet from the Ronaldo fanboys. I'm not trying to call them. I'm not trying to get them. I'm not trying to call them to arms and get them out here to the channel to come attack me or anything like that. But it's been very, very quiet since the young boys took them down. So the one thing I will say though is when you have young boys, you have who was it? Was it Bruges? Is that what it was that beat PSG? You can still lose to these lesser squads. You can definitely still lose to them. I mean, Juve knows better than anybody that definitely you can drop a match to one of these squads. So you have to value and you have to appreciate these wins regardless. But at the same time, at what do we take from this win? Okay, actually, I'm going to get you guys involved in the conversation. Let's go ahead and get you guys involved because I don't want to just have me talking about this. I want to have your all's opinions. What do you all take from the Malmo match? Would you say, here's basically what I'm asking you. I'm asking, did the Malmo game jumpstart Juve's season? Is this where they start getting the things together and they can start rolling offensively, overall as a club? And then also, and this is basically, it's a 1A and 1B because it's basically the same question. But was this a throwaway result or something more significant for Juventus's potential and future for the season and righting the ship? That's basically the question I want to throw out to you guys right now. One of the things I will say, looking around, is Serie A as a whole seems to be currently struggling right now in European play. I think it maybe Roma seems to be the only one. So props to to my guy. Why am I blanking on his name? Somebody give me his name. Mourinho. Out there at Roma, he is definitely doing his thing. Again, we'll get into the conversation of do we cheer for them? Do we support these guys? I've been very clear about my answer, but I want to hear some of your guys too. We can have that debate if you want to have it. Let me jump into some of these chats right now. Haneen started off with a thumbs up. Jacob says, I'm hoping for at least a 1-0 win against Milan to get back on track. Yeah, bare minimum. I mean, I'll take whatever it is, 2-1, 1-0, any score that has Juve with more at this point. I wish that there was more that I could really say. But Milan, like I said, last time we played Milan, obviously it was under Pirlo. It was a different situation, but I mean, how much different, really, honestly, if you're looking at it. 3-0 defeat at home, 2 Milan. Hopefully things will end up differently this time. Fix, I'm going to start this one. We'll come back to that later. That'll be the fun half of the show. I see you talked about the Guardians movie. That starred. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. What's up, Crazy Ray? And then look at Curryman says Napoli scores. Yeah, they tied up 2-2. So, yeah, definitely they started off struggling earlier on, and then Leicester's in the mud. Yeah. What's up, Usman? What's up, my guy, Eddie? How you doing? Appreciate it. Crazy Ray, if we lose, we're basically out of the title race. I'm not going to say yes, but I'm also, I don't, I mean, it starts to feel that way, doesn't it? It starts to feel like, especially, yeah, if you lose, you're just dug yourself such a big hole. Yeah, okay, you know what? Crazy Ray, you might be right. Damn it. I don't want you to be right, but you might be right in that situation. That would be quite a hole to dig ourselves out of. I mean, I'm as negative as anybody. So I'm not the guy to come to for positive, cheerleading when it comes to Juventus overall. We're struggling as we are right now. But yeah, it is okay. Let's go back to my earlier statement. It is a must-win situation. Juventus needs to win this match. What's up, Mirko? Look at Curryman says no way too early. See, he says it's too early to really say that. I don't know. I mean, tell me why. Tell me why you have confidence, Curryman. What's up, Mirko? Oh, that's when you're saying Kiez is good to go. Jockey Bro, how you doing, my friend? Let's see. Mirko says the good thing is that everybody thinks Milan's going to win, so I'm positive that we're going to win 2-0. Maybe. I just we're going to have we're going to have we're going to do our previews, our normal stuff. Let me know if this interests you guys. You all are in the chat. You guys are the guys that are regular listeners, followers, whatever have you. Hanging out and talking. Let me know if this interests you guys. Something I've been wanting to bring to the channel. Something that's big to me. And a big part of what we do here is I talk about doing community-driven stuff about talking about you all, how you became a fan, why you're a fan, where that started, where that came from. But something that I wanted to do, I'm actually hoping my friend's going to be able to make it later this week. On Friday, he's going to try to join me, and we're going to try to do a little pre-recorded thing. A guy here locally, he's a Milan fan. He's I would say he's a big Milanista. He was actually born in Italy, so he actually has that dual citizenship. He's got that over me. But he's a good guy, but he's a Milan fan. And he's going to come on the channel, and we're going to talk a little bit about Milan, his history, what he expects from this game. He also does some local sports radio stuff that we do here locally, as well as he does a I would say, yeah, I can talk about it. Sports gambling. He does some sports gambling. He does some wagers and stuff like that. Gives out good numbers and what have you for gambling. So he's good when it comes to that. If you're a degenerate like us, but anyway, let me know in the comments or the chat down below if that's something that would interest you guys. Is actually seeing maybe like a behind the enemy lines kind of segment where we have fans of other clubs come in. We chat back and forth, do a little BS and back and forth with each other, but also like talking and what we expect, and maybe also get like a maybe we can do like a little friendly wager or something like that. I think that might be fun. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in there. If you can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Okay, so let me move on to what you guys are saying. Let's see. Chiesa didn't play with Malmos to get him. Oh yeah, ready for Milan. Yep. And then I think someone will snap Berna in January. I don't know. Let's see. I'm so confused on the Bernadeschi train because Bernadeschi is so. He's fighting every chance he can to leave. He doesn't want to leave. Like every chance like somebody has or interest in him, he just shuts it down pretty quickly. So I'm not sure about Bernadeschi when it comes to that. If it really is likely that he will, that he will stay. I don't know. That he will go. I think he'll stay. I mean, I don't know who. Okay, Usman, who comes after Berna? Who's going? Are we looking at Fiorentina again? Are we looking at another Italian club? You let me know. Mirko, today Allegri told Chiesa to play and take the ball on the side and do not do the central forward. Okay. See, I didn't even see that. I didn't even hear that. So you know that better than me. Jacob said, before Malmo, I thought we would struggle like we did against Empoli, but after 12 minutes, completely changed my mind. That's fair. The one thing I ask you, so we came off pretty strong and we had a good first half, up 3-0, but we didn't score again in the second half. Does that worry you at all? Does that worry? I mean, lots of opportunities. Didn't end up finishing many of those at all, or none of them. We finished none of them. I don't know why I'm saying many of them. Does that worry you at all? It worries me a little bit. I was hoping at least pepper on a little bit, another one or two. Usman, I think it was a poor opposition, but also they stood a chance to cause an upset. I think chemistry is starting to click. Dybala's flicked to Morata. It might still be rough, but things look better. Yeah, I think so too. I was really not disappointed. I want to say disappointed, but I kind of was disappointed that Morata didn't, finish that one, because that heel flick from Dybala was beautiful. It was a great setup. You got to finish that one. You got to bury that one. It was just kind of a weak, to me, it was a weak touch by him, though, by Morata. Bianconeri TV said, you don't need money to win games. You need a team who plays for the badge. Absolutely. One thing I could say is, sometimes when people say stuff like that, it comes off a little bit cheesy, if you know what I'm saying, on Bianconeri TV. But you're absolutely right, because, if there's one thing we saw was, look at the Italian national team. Look at the way what they put together this summer, playing against squads that are, better talent-wise, monetarily, and all, or not monetarily, they're not playing money. I guess you kind of do. But overall, you look at, the French squad, all the teams that they're playing, and they were able to defeat Belgium. And Belgium, of course, took out Ronaldo. I don't know why I feel like the need to take little pot shots. I need to stop doing that. And the clean sheet. The clean sheet is a good one. Something good to take away from that. There were some positives, definitely some positives from Szczesny in that game, but in the second half. But my guy was resting for most of it. He didn't have to do a lot. I'll be honest. He was not a lot that he really had to. A lot of effort that I don't feel like he had to give. The Juve Piero said Chiesa and Cuadrado are by far two of the most important attacking players. Absolutely. Chiesa, Cuadrado, and then I'd throw in there Locatelli with them. Those are three guys that are just creators for the offense and things. To really get things going, you have to have those three guys clicking. And when you have all three of them backed and together, I see good things coming for Juventus. Fixes, all we need to take away is that it's a comfortable win and we are cohesing. It's up to the players to take that with them and run with it. It's important 3 points too. Yeah, absolutely. Are you talking about Malmo, right? Yeah. Yeah, Malmo, it's very important. The one thing I don't like to do, though, is I don't want to get super hype. And I guess I can do it. It doesn't matter. Who's going to tell me not to? I don't want to get super hyped, though, off of a Malmo win. Honestly, just because of my big... The thing with me is just the idea that, to me, Serie A is so much more important for this season. So that's the only, not saving grace, but the only negative I take from it is, and it's so weird to say, no, 3 points in, Champions League, I should be happy. I should be excited about that. I dare to dream, damn it. That's what I should be saying. But the part of me is just like, I really wish those 3 points and the victory actually came in Serie A, because to me, you got to keep, in line with everybody else. Let's see. Okay. Jockey Bro says A, yes, B, no. Oh, I think that's the 2 parts to my question. Let me pull up that just so I remember exactly what I said. Did it jumpstart the season? Yes. Was it a throwaway result? I'm guessing you're saying the throwaway result is a no. Okay, that's all right. I mean, I'll take that. Let's see. Usman says throw away the result is disrespectful, but it's a big moment to gain momentum, to build on something special, hopefully. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't mean by any means to say be disrespectful when I'm saying the win doesn't matter. When I'm saying it's like, no offense, it's Malmo. Like, Juventus, and this will get to one of my later questions that I have for you all today. I'm not playing teacher over here. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm coming over here playing teacher and asking you to answer questions for me. But overall, I have some questions for you guys. Maybe it's disrespectful, maybe it is, but I think overall, if you're a Juventus, if you're what you believe is top 10 plus, or should be regularly top 10 or above squad club in the world, Malmo should not be a problem. Malmo should not be a team that you go in and you sweat out a victory over. And they didn't sweat it out, but we were sweating before it. And if you say you weren't sweating before it, you're a damn liar. That's all I'll say. Just because honestly, if you look at it, Empoli, Udinese, and Napoli are all better than Malmo. They're all better than Malmo. At least they look it. At least they look it to me. That's my main thing, is are they not better than Malmo? Because, to me, what I saw in the field proves otherwise. Edgar says, Edgar, my boy Edgar, I missed you, Edgar. I've not seen you in a while, so glad to see your name pop up again. Moise Kean has good predatory instincts. I foresee him becoming our striker-in-chief. Morata will thrive alongside him as a sort of twin striker. That's funny, because this is actually on my sheet of lies that I have for the day. Let's see, because I really want to make sure, when I start doing these lives for you guys from now on, last couple of times that I've done it, I'll be honest, I felt like I was giving a subpar performance. And when I say performance, I don't mean me, my activity, and me yelling and screaming and talking. What I mean is just like, sometimes I'll just come in and we'll just let the conversation roll. I'll go to the chat and just expect you guys to do half the work for me. Does that make sense? I didn't expect it. But I have some pieces that I really want to talk about. I wish Julian were in here. Of course they're not. But I wish they were in here to chat with me a little bit. But I did have some stuff that I wanted to bring up. And that's one of my main questions that I have for the day as well. Actually, I say it's a main question. It didn't even make my sheet of lies. But I have it on here as one of my questions. And then we'll go ahead and move into it. We'll move into that question now. And that question is, Moise Kean. I guess I shouldn't shoot my nail while I'm trying to talk. Moise Kean overall, his performance. If you've seen him, they brought him in a couple times 2-3 times this season. And every time he's been brought in that number 9 role. Did you notice that? You notice he's always brought in at number 9 role. He's not brought in as the winger. During Malmo, he easily could have been brought in as a winger to substitute in there. And that's one of the situations where I've noticed that, and I've just kept an eye on it, that it seems more and more likely, or more and more repetitive now, that Allegri seems to want to use him and keep him in that number 9 role. Usually coming in from Morata or whatever have you. I agree with you. I do see him and Morata thriving alongside each other as sort of twin strikers. But I am interested to see, overall, is he going to be slowly, but built into that role? Is he going to end up being Juve's premier number 9 striker that they're going to end up building in here? I guess, of course, Julian, let me go ahead and bring him up. He was saying, if Sociedad just hit their lead, I would have won $400. Yeah, again, another degenerate gambler, Julian, of course. Thank you for being on here, at least, Julian, in the chat. So my question is, do you think he is going to be the guy? I think one of our chats, somebody last time talked about it, asking by January. But I am inclined to think that this may be the way Allegri wants to go, or maybe he's trying to use him in the spot until you can get a Haaland. I know Julian will bring that up as well. We got to talk about Haaland. Is he going to end up being, a Juve's guy in the future, or Vlahovic? Either one I'd be happy with. But what do you guys think overall? Do you think Moise Kean will end up being that striker? Let me dive back in the chat, let you guys answer some stuff, and then we'll see. Julian says, if we win Sunday, Justin starts an OnlyFans account. First of all, who said I didn't already have? I got an OnlyFans account, bro. I got one. Look me up. It's called Bald, Beard, and Bougie. That's what it's called. Just look it up, guys. That probably is an account too. I bet it is. Henning says, looking back at last season, we had a few games where we were not good results and played well, and everyone thought we turned the page. I'll believe that I'll believe that we jumpstart the season when we string 4 to 5 matches. Absolutely, Henning. You got to get on a winning streak. It's a nice little. I always use appetizer. I hate using that term because it doesn't really work. It's a nice little lead in. Hopefully this will continue. Hopefully they'll continue to build from here. Vegeta says, always great to see Bianconeri Zone live. My favorite stream. Thank you, Vegeta. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all you guys that are in here. Really excited about what this thing can become, and hopefully we can continue growing down the line. I always appreciate each and every one of you that are in here, hanging out, talking. Y'all don't realize how much fun it is for me just because of you guys. If I'm just sitting here talking into a void, I could do it, but it's just not as much fun. So I appreciate all of you, all of your comments, all the fun that you guys have with me throughout this. And also, I apologize. Yesterday, we didn't go live. We all had something come up, so it just didn't end up working out well. Toriro says, our streak will start after Milan because I don't see us getting a win, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You can be honest. I feel like it's, I don't want to say it's an uphill battle, but you're playing one of the, you're playing one of the big three, even if they're not the Milan of old. They're starting to become better than they were. So, it's a solid opponent. Mirko, you're not out just after 4 games. Sorry, your boy is... Can anybody hear me? Sorry, I think I turned it down accidentally. I'm going to try it here. Hopefully it's good. That's fair. No, you're not out after 4 games, but it's just so much has to happen. One thing I will say... I say this a lot, don't I? Don't I say? I say one thing I will say. But overall, one of the ways that I would look at it is I think Juventus right now, even though you're struggling, it's a shame they're struggling so bad. Because the situation they're in is pretty fortuitous. Because if you look at the rest of the league's not that great. It's really not. Compared to, like, if you look at compared to Inter last year with Lukaku and whatever have you, they're not the Inter of old. Like Inter has some huge history, but you know what I mean. They're not the Inter of last year. I'll say that. I think my tongue starts going, and then I just say words that don't make sense. They're not the same Inter. They're not the same level. Roma's starting to worry me though. If Mourinho really puts it together, and he has our boy Zaniolo out there kicking it, that's the one thing that starts to worry me. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I guess technically no, you're not after 4 games, but I'm a pessimist. Yes, Usman says we need to win every match. Oh, he's talking to Julian. Where is Julian? Julian just decided to take a day off. He's just so busy. No, I can't remember. He said he had some kind of issue going on. I apologize, Julian. I forgot what he said. Jockey Bro says if we drop points to Spezia, Sampdoria, I think we're out of the title race. But Milan's really good, so I can see us dropping points to them if I'm being realistic. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair to say that. That's why, to me, I wouldn't be as worked up if we ended up losing. I'm still going to be pissed. But yeah. Kin did finish his goal, but he was offside. That's true. He did. He had 1 goal, and then he should have had a second one from Kulusevski. They didn't finish on them. Mirko says, in my opinion, in 6 games we'll be 4th at 3 points from the top. Hey, Mirko, save this. Remind me, and when we're at 6 games, how many points we have, and you let me know if that's true, and I'll give you all the credit. I'll send you a T-shirt. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Vegeta said, my brother is a Milanista. To be honest, we don't even talk about football. I can't stand Milan, and he despises Juve, so you avoid talking about it like at all. That's funny. I'm surprised. The way I look at it, at least here, and I actually didn't realize our metrics show that a lot of people that actually watch this actually are from America, even though I feel like most of the people that talk to me are people that are not from America. Does that make sense? So I feel like most of the people leaving comments down are definitely not from America. But anyway, so the reason I say it is I don't feel as bad about bringing up some American relational stuff when I'm talking about sports. I can fill you guys in if you're not from America, but it's just easier because that's where my mind works, and it's where I have the most experience, if that makes sense. But here locally, I mean, I would say, and I don't know for sure. I can't say this. You're gonna come out here and you're gonna lambaste me if I say this. But like I look at Juve, Inter, I can see it for sure. Juve, Milan, maybe. But like if you have like Louisville and Kentucky here, it's vitriolic. It's every single day. Like people out here just getting into fights or yelling at each other. There's old men in dialysis clinics that are fighting each other. So I'm surprised when you say like you and your brother don't even talk about it. I thought you all would be just jabbing at each other back and forth all day, every day, because that's what we do here. Every single little thing. Recruiting. I know it's not recruiting when it comes to, Calcio, but at the same time, when it comes to the players you're getting and all that, every little freaking thing's a competition. It's exhausting. I don't know how, but so I'm surprised that you all don't do that. Let's see, Jacob, I agree with you. It worries me a little bit, but not that much. The thing I am most worried about is the missed chances we had in front of goal, because if we're losing, we need to convert them. That's true. It is. That was a big one. What's up, Raffle? Appreciate you joining us. Yeah, no, that's very true. I think that is one of those things that that do worry me, that, like I said, the ones by Ken, by Moise Ken, and then by Morata, a couple of those, like, you've got to find a way to finish those, even though you did have that the goal in the first half. Dybala is not an attacking mid, as he does not see passing opportunities like Kaká, Totti, Zidane. He is better as a second striker, but for now he has to drop deep to help on creative midfield. Yeah, absolutely. I think once you get a guy like Archer back and stuff like that, you can worry a little bit less about having Dybala in those situations. I would hope, at least. Having Juventus is the only Italian one that got 3 points in the Champions League. Absolutely. Every time. You can always celebrate that. That'll be another part I want to talk about. What's up, Comicus? Appreciate you, my guy. Hamza says, we should play like Liverpool played yesterday in the first 20 minutes. Milan defense isn't strong. Yeah, you got to be attacking. You got to, like I said, I'm really big on Juventus has to have that killer instinct, which is why I wouldn't hate, I wouldn't hate throwing Moise Kean out there a little bit earlier. Maybe having him start there, and then maybe switch him out for Morata later. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. But Moise Kean just seems to be a little bit more aggressive and attacking than Morata seems. I don't want to say Morata's soft, but sometimes he comes off a little bit, Let's see. Oh, sorry, Rafa, I missed you, and then I'll come back. After the performance, I think we can win Champions League. No problem. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's take a chill pill. Let's be a little bit realistic over here, guys. Henning says, Justin's very important to get the round of 16. If we don't, we lose so much money, and we can't afford that with our situation. That's very true. I mean, it is very true. I mean, I hate that money comes into it because it is. Damn it. Yeah, I mean, but there is no reason that Juventus shouldn't make it to the round of 16, right? Because you got to beat Zenit, and you should be able to beat Zenit. You go against Chelsea, and you just pray. You just say a little prayer. You go out there, maybe you can draw. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Or maybe Chiellini works his magic. Maybe Chiellini puts Lukaku in that back pocket, and somehow a miracle comes off the field. You never know. You never know. Edgar says if Artur returns and Locatelli plays well, plays well, making midfield creative. Then Allegri will relieve Dybala of having to drop back, staying close to goal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so as well. What's up, Timothy? Appreciate you tuning in. How's everyone? How you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing well today. Like I said, it's nice to have done a post game. That was actually positive the other day. Nice to actually get a little bit more pep in my step compared to what we've been dealing with. Let me move back to some of my topics. I'm trying to see. I didn't see where anybody responded. Did anybody say anything about like the idea of having a behind enemy line segment? I'm looking, but I don't think I really saw where you all said that. Arif says, "Why are you always in a hurry, my friend? Slow down, breathe. You are doing great." I appreciate it. It's just the way that I go about doing this. It's not even in a hurry. I just like to. My mind is also like I'm not acting like I'm smarter than a lot of people, but like my mind is constantly just firing off stuff and ideas, so I jump all over the place. And also it's kind of like what some people that I know when they do stuff, it's all about energy and about going off. Sometimes, like, I'll be honest, some people do their shows and like they'll just talk so slowly, and they'll just be like like this. And I also understand though, some of the people, not saying you, Arif, but whoever, sometimes there are people that English is not their first language. So when I'm talking so fast, it's just too much sometimes. And if that is a problem, let me know, guys. I'll try to slow it down. But my thing is always more of like a more high level energy kind of thing. It's just me, and I apologize if it's too much. I'll try to slow it down. Let me take it easy, calma, you know. But it's just what I try to bring, because I think whenever I try to listen to stuff or I watch stuff, I like higher energy. It's something that gets me me pumped, get me a little bit more, feel like I don't know, I don't want to say accomplishing something, but does that make sense? Let me know. Usman says, dude, the UK is not different. Various UK Juve fan groups really hate the UK. Milan, Inter, etc. groups exported hate and hooliganism. That's fair. When you say UK, Usman, I mentioned UK earlier, but UK here means University of Kentucky. If that's what you if that's what you're responding to, or if you're just telling me about UK, that makes sense as well. But me personally, I end up UK. Whenever I say UK, I mean University of Kentucky. Otherwise, I mean what am I trying to say? Otherwise, I'll say England or whatever have you. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped one. Actually, I skipped a couple. Where was I? Mirko said, okay, the 6th game from today will be versus Inter, so I'll be 4th and 3 points from the top. I deserve a t-shirt deal. Right? Yeah. Actually, well, I don't have any t-shirts to give away right now. But what I do, eventually I would like to do stuff. I want to do, see how we have, branding here? I have this one made. Actually, this is actually it's a nice Adidas pullover with the Bianconeri Zone logo and all that on it. I like to wear pullovers. They're one of my favorite things to wear during the winter, during the colder months. One of my ideas maybe is to have some t-shirts made that we can either later have merch and stuff like that. And then I will give away stuff like that. Like I said to you, Mirko. Jacob says, do you think we're focusing on Champions League this season since we don't play well in Serie A? Even though it was Malmo. I don't think so. I think they're equally focused on both. But I would say overall, my personal opinion, it was just my personal opinion that I cared more about the results in Serie A, because I think you have to be able to. What I'd say about that, what I mean though, is I mean results when it comes to winning the whole damn thing. Does that make sense? I'm talking about you need to be able to win Serie A again, and you need to be winning Serie A and be at that point before you can dream about winning, the big prize, the Champions League, and defeating the best of the best. If you can't win your league, how are you supposed to win Champions League is what I'm saying. But yeah, I do think it's very important if you can progress farther, if you can get to a quarterfinals, a semifinals, definitely a quarterfinals at least, would be great monetarily. Really good for Juventus. Need to, stack that money so that way you can buy comfortably the next big striker that we need. You guys are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not, I don't know why I always do this. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you're not new here, I don't know why I did it again, just hit the like button. Hit the damn like button. That's what I'm asking, please. Or I'll throw a punch your mom. Something like that. Usman says, Justin, regarding the Berna comment earlier, maybe if Berna leaves, we get Kin to deputize that position, albeit sporadically. Just a thought. I mean, maybe. It's a possibility. I think Berna, I think he's got to leave soon, right? There's no way he uses him so sporadically. I know I'm just copying because you said sporadically now. But I just don't see a real spot for him moving forward. Okay, I do want to get back into my topics. I have topics, guys. I have topics I'm going to talk about. I keep getting distracted. Okay. Today, Allegri was yelling at the training that the players should move the ball fast. It feels like he watched Liverpool Milan. Possibly. It could be. My guy's learning. My guy's listening. He's he's a coach. That makes sense. Lukaku ain't got bleep on King Kong. Absolutely. Someone else says, Justin, it's all them Jaeger bombs you be drinking. Not a long time. That's definitely me when I was younger. When I say younger, I forget. I'm older now, but maybe I'm not as old as some of the people. I'm 31. But yeah, I used to be able to pound them away a little bit. UK, United Kingdom. I'll say Britain from now. No, you're good. I knew what you meant when you said United Kingdom, but here locally, UK means University of Kentucky. I mean, it means United Kingdom, but whenever I say UK, when I type it into my phone, no, I don't mean United Kingdom. Here in Louisville, Kentucky, I'm not talking about the United Kingdom that often, Siri. We're not trying to do that here. YFG says, I hate Torino the most, and I have a strong dislike for both Milan teams, Napoli, Lazio, Roma, and Fiorentina. Absolutely. Actually, save that. I want to get to that. Thank you. Alejandro throws up the like and subscribe. So now I'm going to take a break real quick from the chat, guys. Actually, I do want to say, what's up, Bobby? It's been a little bit since I've seen you as well, my friend. So I appreciate you tuning in. I'm doing well. Doing good, especially when we're hanging out talking some Juventus. So I really want to get to the next topic that I had for you for today, and that so I mean, this isn't really okay. This is part of the next topic, but it's going to go off of my last conversation. So say Juve loses against Milan. Like I said, you dig yourself a pretty big hole. You're going to be again with 1 point. Everybody else will be happy. Actually, let me pull up right now, real quick while we're doing this. Okay, I'm pulling up the table as we have it. Table. Here we go. Make sure I have it. I think I've kind of avoided the table a little bit, mainly because of just how bad the season started. So I kind of avoided the table. Okay, here we go. In first place, we got Roma with 9 points, Milan 9, Napoli 9. Okay, and then we got 7s, 6 4s, and then Juve is down there in 16th place with 1. Holy hell. Yeah, just literally right outside of the relegation zone. Obviously, it's too early. Actually, let me throw back up the like and subscribe so people remember to go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Anyway, so my question goes off of this. So if Juve were to lose against Milan, that puts Milan up at 12 points. Roma potentially, I don't know. I had to pull up who everybody's playing this week. But potentially that gap from first place to where Juve is 11 freaking points already if they were to lose. If that happens, when do we start recalibrating our expectations for Juventus? I know a lot of you guys don't like to hear this. I know a lot of you guys don't want this. Like, I don't. This is what I say of this show. What I do here a lot of the show is a lot of what I call reality check, kind of. It's not radio, but you know what I mean. YouTube. I do a little bit more reality check. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, Juventus is definitely going to win it. What do you mean we're not going to win it? We're going to win the damn thing. Okay, maybe. I'm not here to cheerlead. That's not my job. Nothing's my job. I don't get paid to do that. I don't get paid to do this. But I'd say is, when do we start recalibrating our expectations for the club? When does that happen? Has it already happened? Has it happened before Malmo? Has it happened when we had 3 matches and we didn't win? Had no winning result in any of those. So you've got an 11-point deficit. Is it impossible to come back from that? No, it's not impossible. But when do we start thinking, okay, now the expectation is to finish top 4? When do we start saying that again? Is that something that I'm worried about, and it's something that maybe you're not gonna like to hear, but it's a topic. It's a topic that's out there right now, just because of the situation with the club right now. You play Milan, and then after that you have a little bit, a couple chances to fatten the. Say fatten your wad, which is a weird way to say it. So make sure I don't say that. But that's my question to you guys. So let's jump back in the chat. That's my question, because overall, I'm not ready to do it yet. I'm not ready to recalibrate my expectations, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there really fast, just because if this continues, I'm going to start thinking, Juve now just has to make the Champions League, so that way they still, get some of that money that they can allocate it going, where I don't want to be in the same damn position that we were at the end of last year, is what I'm saying. And it's way too damn early for them to be right back in there. And I'm starting to worry that they are there. YFG Jab says that I'm Jamaican. Maybe only Juve fan in the country, and most people support Spanish and English teams. A selected few support Italian, French, and German teams. That's pretty cool. I like that, dude. That's interesting, though. Smiley face says, I can't stand any team in Serie A. They all hate us, so we should. That is okay. That's a question I have later. We're coming back to that. I'm gonna put those aside for now. Bobby's talking about the Malmo game. Says it was a great game. Looking forward to the weekend. I have a feeling the boys are making the right connections on the field. It starts to feel that way. It does feel a little bit. I know I keep going. Am I bipolar on here? Is this a bipolar channel where I keep going and I get high and I talk about how great they performed or how well they performed and they start clicking, and then I'm like, yeah, guys, I think the season's a wash, That's what I'm starting to do over here. But no, I agree with you. Hopefully they can keep that up, and hopefully that's something that continues to grow going forward. Bernardeschi's contract is over after the season. Yeah, we'll just see what happens, with him. Jaeger pumps are delicious. They're good. They're after you get a certain age, I don't know if you can drink them as nearly as much as I used to. What else we got here? Jockey Bro says, I really liked when Berna played in the midfield, so I want to keep him. If we're going to sell somebody, it would be Ramsey. Yeah, that was a big part of what I said a lot throughout this Mercado, was that the problem right now is Ramsey more than it is Bernardeschi. If you're going to get rid of anybody, it's got to be Ramsey first. Bernardeschi is something that you don't really need to worry about. That's the way I look about it. But if his contract expires, I'm okay with letting it run out and wish him the best. Edgar says, I've never valued Lukaku as a footballer. He has no football mind. He's just big and strong. That he is a top striker shows the football standards have dropped over the last few years. I don't know, dude. I mean, that dude's a hoss. Like, there's something to be said for players that are just big and strong, that can just muscle their way through and do that. I mean, I'm thinking about like other sports, football. I mean, when I say football, I mean American football, basketball, whatever have you. Some guys are just bigger than you, and they can bully you around, and that's something you can do. But I'd say when it's a sport like calcio and football, that Lukaku is able to do it. He has to have a little bit more finesse. What do we call it? The beautiful game, whatever have you. There's something about like that compared to American football and basketball where you can't just overpower everybody. You see people like, I mean, you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, who strong guy, but at the same time, if other guys aren't working with you to create for you, you struggle. Zefton says, I am from Caribbean, St. Kitts. I'm a big fan of Juve since I'm a little boy. See, it's so cool. I like that. Appreciate it, my friend. I was down in the Caribbean just a couple years ago. It's so beautiful. I love any chance I get to go back there. Cristiano Mike says, Haaland will flop at Juventus. Juventus need a super team, not a superstar. I don't know. I can't say you're right or wrong. I want to say you're wrong. I want to say you're wrong, Cristiano Mike. I see the Cristiano. I don't forget about that. The reason I say that is, dude, I just think Haaland is a machine. Like, I think you can put him out there, and he's young enough, and he's skilled enough that he can go out there, and he's going to create, and he's going to score a lot of goals for your team. I take it. I want him now. Like, I'm never saying no to that kid. Yeah, I want a super team, but Haaland, to me, he's... No offense to Cristiano. Cristiano's great, but he's young. He's young. This is a player that has a long career in front of him that can really do a lot and win a lot. So I'm going to have to disagree respectfully. Usman, if Allegri is seeking to mimic Liverpool, they needs an Archer or a Pjanic to run the midfield. However, our play is quick and we can catch them off guard. Yeah. As long as they're, as long as guys are having some, I guess, cojones, if you will, grinta, balls, whatever you want to say at the end, to actually finish on those creative plays, those quick creative plays, then yeah, I agree. Crazy Ray said, haven't looked at the table at all. I haven't either. This was the first time I really looked at it, because I've seen people post it. When Juve has 1 point, I'm avoiding it. I don't know if you guys do like this. I do this a lot. I let my mental state sometimes get affected by my team and how well they're playing. Juve, Louisville here locally, all that. If they're playing poorly, and right now, for the last 9 years, how many years, Juve's been my saving grace. I've always had them to fall back on, be like, no, they're going to be doing well. When, like I said, when my local team, Louisville football, when they're struggling, which they are again right now, they need to fire their damn head coach. He sucks. We won't get into that today. But whenever they're struggling, I can always rely on, Juventus. And unfortunately, this year and a lot of last year has not been the case. It's just been a circle of suck, if you will, for me personally. Smiley Face says, I took a screenshot of our current rank because the season's going to be historical. Smiley Face, can you clarify that for me? When you say historical, are you saying it's going to be historically bad or it's going to be historical? Spiros says it's early. It's very early to talk about this. It is early, but that's what I do here. I'm reactionary. I want to know how you feel. And now, we're always jumping to conclusions. It is early, but then what do you want me to do? You want me to not talk about it? You want me to act like everything's fine? Let's just wait. I can just say let's just wait. Let's just wait and see what happens. No, dude. Like, we got to be realistic, and we have to start talking about the issues that we're seeing out there on the field. Though we're starting to see them get fixed bit by bit, piece by piece, whatever have you. Guys, if you're here, please hit that like button. Help me get the likes up. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Let's see. YFG says, I'm not afraid of Chelsea. Chiesa, Cuadrado can tear Reece James and Alonso apart. Plus, Chiellini knows how to deal with Lukaku. The only threat to Chelsea's team is Conte, but he's everywhere. Yeah, Conte's a baller. I also have a friend. I might try to do that too. If nobody answered me, Not a single damn one of you answered me, or I didn't get to it. Maybe I just didn't get to it. I'm that far in the chat about the behind enemy lines segment. If you guys would like to see that or not, that interests you in talking to fans of other teams that we're about to play and preview them like that. I also have a friend. He's a really good guy. He's a Chelsea fan. He actually really likes Juventus. I have a picture of him from when, or I don't have a picture of him. He posted it or something like that. That'd be weird. I don't have a picture of him as a kid. But there's a picture of him as a kid, and he has a throwback Juventus shirt. That was really, really cool. It's just a t-shirt. It's not even like a jersey, but it's a Juventus shirt from back in like the early 2000s. That's really cool. That I just randomly saw that he had posted from one of his old ones. Let's see. All right, there we go. Usman says, we recalibrate after October. I never liked the idea of swapping the coach again, but we should have expected the season was always going to be another transition season. Not my argument, but my kind of feeling is like last season was a transition season. Am I wrong? So am I not fair to expect like this season should not be as much of a transition season? Does that make sense? Because I feel like last season should have been more the transition season. So like even though you're bringing Allegri in, and I understand there's changes that are being made. Cristiano out, he left. You have players that are coming back from either injury or whatever have you. You have some players that are young, that are being acclimated to the system. I don't know. I kind of feel like you should have used some of that time last year. Otherwise, what are we doing? Are we going to do this 3 years in a row? Are we going to come back next year and Allegri will be back, but it's still going to be a rebuild? Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to do this for a lot of seasons. And you know what? Usman? You brought me to my next damn question. And I'm going to throw these questions out there. These are questions that we don't really need to use. Mirko, I don't know why I'm wearing headphones. Oh, it's because I have sound that comes in. That I know why I'm wearing headphones, to check the way I sound. That's why I have my headphones on. But thanks for calling me out, Mirko. Because I look like a jackass. I know. Also, I'm in the basement. And where my basement is, like I talked about this 1,000 times. There's an AC unit that's over there on that side of my basement. And if sometimes it's just overwhelmingly loud, and these are noise canceling as well. Shut up, Mirko. Just kidding. Anyway, my next question, kind of going off of that, was really, and this is related to the recalibration of our expectations. Sorry, allergies are bad. Is over the last 9 years. 10 years, I guess now, even though last year we didn't win it. And Juve is a club with high expectations, high achievements. Has won the Champions League before. But when it comes to Serie A, have we as Juventus fans become the term I would use is, have we become fat and happy? And like, yes, I am. But what I mean is like fat and happy as in, like pigs or whatever have you. And I hate using that term. I'm not calling Juventus fans pigs. But what I mean is, have we become fat and happy as in we've been too used to winning? We expect to win. And we should expect to win. But have we become too expectant of winning and success? And have we become too expectant just of walking over the Serie A, that when this stuff happens, we can't react accordingly? Does that make sense? Is this a check that we needed as a fan base? Or is this just something that's another speed bump in the road to, the final goal, the end goal, winning the Champions League, whenever that happens? That's something I wondered as fans, because I've noticed a lot of, and it's also, any large fan base, you're going to get it. We have it here locally with a lot of our clubs, or with our clubs, their teams, sports teams here locally in the United States. But at the same time, have we become fat and happy when it comes to just expecting win after win after win, to not struggle, to not whatever? Does that make sense? That's the one thing I've always wondered right now with the state of Juventus. Usman says, we need stability above else. We need a permanent fixture in the roster, coaching and upper management. We need a strong foundation. And that is something that I need to talk about, or not talk about. I brought up enough topics. There's more coming. But when I say this, is we need stability in the roster, but also just with the lineup. At some point, you've got to come down. This is the way maybe people would disagree with me on this, and maybe with Calcio you can do that throughout the season. You can adjust, you can tinker, whatever have you. But Pirlo did it for an entire damn year. That's something I actually talk about with my friend who's a Milanista who joins in. He's a Pirlo guy. He texted me, or messaged me basically just saying, what's going on? Why would you get rid of Pirlo? That makes no sense. It's stupid. And maybe I can understand why. You're a Pirlo guy, Milan. But at the same time, I never saw development. I never saw a plan. And I know some people will disagree with me. And right now is your chance. Disagree with me. Give me your words of disagreement, whatever have you. But I never saw a plan with him. So I need Allegri to give me a plan here. But after 2 months at least. After 2 months, I want to see a plan. Does that make sense? I want to see a plan. I mean, I want to see movement when it comes to the team. Of like, this is a roster. This seems to be the set who's starting. This seems to be, the set lineup, the formation they're going with, that, either 4-4-2, 4-4-3-3, or whatever have you. Bobby says, I have no doubt about top 4, but we will need to sacrifice something, and I think that something is the Copa. UCL deep as possible for the money. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I would be willing probably to give up the Copa as long as. I don't know. I really like to buy the shirts with the little badges. I'd be real sad to buy one without it. So I don't know, but yeah, I get what you're saying. YFG says, I don't want to seem nonchalant, but I'm not really worried about Juve versus Milan, because one thing with Juventus is when we're on our ass, when our back is against the wall, we perform big. We do it big. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could say that. I almost was about to say, well, what happened with the Milan game last time, but I guess that one wasn't really a moment where Juventus was against the wall. I guess, honestly, if Juve would have beaten Milan then you're basically set and you're good to go. It wasn't until that final game that they really came out and showed out against, it's Bologna, but they still came out, and the dice went the right way. Oh, Cristiano, why are you saying that again? Johnny, I'm from mythical land of Australia, but it still doesn't exist. I've seen a lot of Australian, I don't want to say like political stuff, but like comments out there between America and like Australia. I don't know if there's some like divide that's coming up out there, but yes, I still don't know that Australia does exist. Have you ever? Yeah, I was going to ask if you've seen a kangaroo in person. Yes, I've seen a kangaroo in person too. So never mind. I don't know, but I don't know how you all live down there. Like I had literally today, I was mowing my lawn and I stepped on a freaking nest of hornets, and like 7 hornets flew out at me and stung me at the same exact damn time. And, like, literally, I was running around going crazy, and I'm thinking about how do people like you all, and there was a little spider about this big. About this, I mean, it was not little, but it was still, for me, it's big. But then you live out there in Australia, you're getting attacked by freaking spiders the size of cars, or whatever have you. I don't know how you do it, my guy. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Jacob, if we were at least 5th, 6th, 7th by December, I would say we need to focus on top 4 unless Milan, Inter, Roma, and Napoli lose points. I'm interested to see what happens with Roma. Roma has become my interesting team of the year to really kind of watch and see what happens, because they look good. They look surprisingly good with Mourinho and what he's done there. So I'm interested to see what happens with Roma forward in the season. And there was that comment by Mirko asking me why I'm using my stupid helmet, my headphones. Gianluca says, I think Hatunen is Bernadeschi's replacement. Could be a solid option. Yeah. Spiros, the Milan game is going to be very tough, but they are hungry for the win. They're going to take it somehow. Hopefully Juventus. Yeah, I think you mean Juventus. I hope Juventus does as well. Yes. Yes, I agree, YFG. Now DeShilio's injured. Yeah, it's another player. Yeah, we talked about that in the daily video today. If y'all haven't checked out the daily video, please do that. I appreciate you guys supporting. Usman says, Rabiot and Ramsey's contract expires after next season. I'm up for Ramsey leaving, but should Rabiot have his contract renewed? At this point right now, maybe you could make some adjustments. I don't know exactly how willing he'd be able to do this, but I would make some adjustments to Rabiot's pay. But I'd be willing to renew Rabiot. Yeah. To me, Rabiot right now is your second best midfielder. Maybe Artur. It just depends how you use him. But yeah, Rabiot right now, unless you're going after another guy and you're going to sign somebody else, I would go after him. YFG, Justin, straying off the topic. My team, the Denver Broncos, started out great. The NFL better. Watch out, Teddy Bridgewater's about to be on their ass. He's a great QB and a great talent. YFG, I hope you know this. I think you know this. Teddy Bridgewater, that's my boy. He's a Louisville Cardinal. He played for U of L, one of the best quarterbacks, one of the top teams. The Sugar Bowl team that he won against Florida, literally blew Florida out, gave him a drubbing. People love it. I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you ever watch these videos of like the toughest hits ever taken on YouTube, they're all over there. And they always use the damn cover of Teddy Bridgewater taking a shot by Florida. But I'm like, dude, that was a dirty shot. It was literally, the way he knocked his helmet off or whatever happened, and the way he hit him was targeting. It was targeting, bro. So what are you doing? Like, why are we using this exactly like it was a good hit when it was not a good hit? It was a dirty hit. But anyway, Teddy Bridgewater is my guy. I hope he brings you success for the Denver Broncos. Hopefully he will continue to play him. And Lamar Jackson, of course, love them both because they're both U of L boys. Loved them when they were here. Teddy Bridgewater's they're both genuinely good guys. But Teddy Bridgewater, he was there. Actually, I went to school with Teddy Bridgewater. Talked to him a few times. Really, really good guy. He was at our parties a couple times when I was in my fraternity and stuff then. But yeah, so I hope he is successful for you. What else we got here? Fixes enemy lines, not my cup of tea idea. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I just think it's an interesting. I don't know. I like to hear different topics and different stuff, so that's fine. That's fine. Why? Fix? YFG asks, Justin, last year was a transition, but remember we changed managers, so the players have to adjust to a new system and tactics again. So after December, expect big things. That's fair. That's a good point. That's yeah. That's a good point. I will give. I'm right now. I'm looking at. Give me till. It's September. Give me to the end of October. And then we can talk a little bit more with a little bit more insight of what we have going on here. Cristiano Mike says Haaland would literally do the same as CR7. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's the same because I just don't. I don't know. Maybe it would, but I would like to see Haaland here. I know you're a Cristiano guy, which is not a bad thing, obviously. But that's just my personal opinion. I think he would do solid here. I want him here. Damn it! I want Haaland. Okay, shut up. We're getting Haaland. It's gonna happen. Usman says, Justin, I understand. Oh, this should not be a transition season, but we went from Saudi ball to Pirlo style and back to Allegri. Technically, we're a mess. So many players found their feet. No, and I know that. I agree. It's just, I mean, at what point do you expect the fans to keep accepting that excuse? You know what I mean? Like, you're the ones that are choosing to go from coach to coach to coach. That's on you guys. The fans shouldn't have to suffer and deal with this shit. If we're being honest, when you have to keep dealing with struggling, like you should bring a guy in who should be able to have a system and should be able to install it. And I understand Allegri, it takes some time, but you gotta get the ball rolling sooner than later. Let's see. YFG says that's true. We become couch potatoes like we expect Serie A trophy to be given us every damn year. Inter opened our eyes last year, and now we have to fight for this. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's something that I just wondered, like, because I mean, I was guilty of it myself. I just expected to go in, and the reason I bring up, honestly, the reason I brought up the point and the question about being fat and happy is because I was literally mowing, and I was thinking about like stuff to talk about today, but I was also thinking about like myself as a Juventus fan. And I got to the point where I was talking, and I was like, I talk to myself like I'm a crazy person. I'm doing this right now. What am I talking about? I'm talking to you guys, but overall, I'm talking to a screen. The one thing I would say is I was mowing, and I was thinking about Juve, and I was like, so if they were to lose against Milan, and what happens there, do I care? Does that make sense? Like, I literally asked, I had to question myself and say, do I care if they lose? Like, when I say do I care, I mean, do I care about the season? Because I had put myself in that headspace that if Juve loses, they're going to be in a spot that's they're in such a big hole that I don't feel personally that they can dig themselves out of it. And that's where I start to worry. And that's where my mind goes to, that's where I'm fat and happy as a fan, is that I was so used to winning the Serie A that going in, expecting every other damn team to line up, roll over, let our goals get scored, head home, wax that trophy, party a little bit, not do great in the Champions League, but overall just expect that trophy to be given back and back and back and back. And it's just, you basically just keep the trophy ready, keep the cases open, keep the stands and all the party confetti and shit at the end of the season, keep it ready, because it's going to happen. So then I got to the point where I'm sitting here thinking, if Juve falls out of what I would say is Serie A contention, do I care about this season? Why watch? Why watch at all? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And I don't truly believe this, but I think that's somewhat of what we've gotten. There's become a numbness. There's become a unless Juventus is successful, people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to invest in it. That happens with a lot of sports. You look at Alabama football in America, and that's happened a lot. Where I remember they've become so used to winning championships. Actually, this is a fun topic that I'm going to go off on a little tangent real quick. So their coach, Nick Saban, we've always joked about him being a robot, basically, about him being, whatever it is. He's just he seems boring, but he's not boring. He's not boring at all, but he seems very boring. Like, literally, he goes out there, wins, and he just complains and bitches about something. He won the freaking national championship, beating Clemson. They're giving him the trophy. They're talking about that, and what's the first thing he says? Well, this is taking away a few days from freaking recruiting. The guy complained about recruiting. The guy complained that he couldn't go out and recruit more players for next year. So that's like Juventus saying, well, this sucks. We had to play in the Champions League final and win the final, because right now I could be using this to negotiate deals for yada yada. Sule's 16 freaking year old, whatever. Like, that's what this is to me. And I just think about, like, how could you become that used to winning that it's become a problem for you, that you get upset about winning? Also, a story came out recently. Literally, there's a sound I wanted to pull up, but I didn't have time for it. Sound of the coach, Staven, was what was he saying? Oh, one of his players was interviewed from the media day kind of stuff. They do it here. Chiesa, Moise Kean, whoever's all talking about it. And they're asking about him. And they're like, so does he have any neat coaching quips or whatever have you? And he goes, he starts saying, he's like, no, not really. I mean, there's one. And he goes, yeah, he's been saying touch D's and suck D's. And, like, you could hear the SID, the media guy, like, run down and start screaming at the guy to shut up. So the guy has personality. But then also, the reason I brought that up is I always wondered, what do, coaches like Allegri or Pirlo, even Sadi, whoever have you, I would like to hear what they're, I know Allegri has a lot of personality. He does not mind saying stuff. So I wonder the stuff he says behind closed doors. That's what always interested me. Anyway, back on topic. I'll get back to your all's comments. I just wanted to go on a little tangent real quick. Let me get a breather. Also, let me do my reminder. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, whatever have you. Let me make sure I didn't get a message from one of my guys if they want to join. It doesn't seem like it, so that'll be me. Fix says, yes, we have sort of took it for granted, but our goal difference went down when Voldemort joined. Funnily enough, I sort of think of it interesting to have having to win instead of expecting it. So that's fair. Yeah, let's say wait, but our goal difference went down. Oh, went WNT, got it. Makes sense. Funnily enough, I sort of think it's interesting of having to win instead of expecting it. It is. There is something to it, dude. I remember, again, sorry to relate it to another American sport. Louisville won the national championship in basketball, and it was one of those moments where it happened, and I was so excited. And I literally left and was like, "Oh, that was really cool." Okay. Well, let's just go do it next year. Why can't we do it next year? They didn't do it the next year. But it's one of those things where, like, it feels, when it happens, it feels like it's almost so easy to do, And you don't want to get too used to it. But it is nice to get used to it. Mirko, I'd really like to know your opinion. If Juventus had won the 2 finals with Allegri, and if the pandemic never happened, what do you think Juventus would be now? That's a very interesting idea. It's hard to say because I think that they'd be in a better spot. Maybe you could have grabbed a couple of guys. I think if they win, maybe potentially Buffon doesn't leave. Maybe somehow you keep Buffon and then Szczesny leaves. or not Szczesny. If Szczesny doesn't come, maybe you get Donnarumma. Maybe you get a player like that or two. I don't know if it's vastly different though, because the main you said, and if the pandemic never happened, okay, if the pandemic never happened, that makes a big difference. A lot more money. You lose a lot less money. You're in a way better position right now when it comes to being able to buy players. You're not really bartering or whatever it comes just to get Locatelli, and they did a great job. But yeah, you're in a way better position financially and all that. So I'd say overall, I think Juventus would have you'd be in a better spot. But like a lot of clubs are in bad spots because of this. YSG says at the start of the season, Pogba was 100% reluctant to sign a new contract with Man U, but since the arrival of CR7 starts to emerge that he is open to a new contract, sounds fishy to me. I mean, I don't really think it sounds fishy. Honestly, I think the reasoning sounds that he's more interested in is maybe he thinks with Ronaldo being there that they can win it. To me, that's what it is. To me, I think it's just he thinks that they can win it now. That's what I took from it. I don't know. Overall, and then also you look at it, and his other option was PSG. So if your option's PSG and they've signed all these other guys, maybe now they don't have room for you. Usman says fat and happy. If we look at Patriot fans and the success they had with Brady gone and Newton replacing him, sure, Patriot fans are taking success for granted, but have they been as successful? Have they been as successful as Juventus? Is that what you're saying? I'd argue, yeah. I mean, the reason I say it is it's different. That's like if you look at it in an NFL stance, winning the Super Bowl, 5 times or whatever it is with Brady, is the equivalent of winning 5 Champions Leagues. I understand there's more teams and all that when it comes to Champions League, but that's the equivalent of the sport. Winning Serie A per se, when I look at it this way, I look at it as like winning your division, winning the Western Conference or the American, whatever, the conference they're in. Why am I blanking on NFL conferences? But anyway, it's like winning their conference to me, and that's how I kind of take winning Serie A. Does that make sense? Do you all agree with that? Do you disagree? Let me know. Maybe CR7 said some bad things about Juve. It's a possibility. I mean, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had plenty of thoughts to get out there. He was not happy. You could look on his face. Like I said, I ranted and raved on here so many times about the facial, the distress he showed, the whatever, all the little stuff about Ronaldo. I'm sure, but I also don't know that plays that big a role. Are you talking about when it comes to Pogba? I'm sure he said bad stuff, but I think Pogba probably just thinks right now Manchester United, because what's the goal, the dream I think a lot of us had was that we get Pogba back with Ronaldo and the two of them can go out there and try to win a, Champions League. But we'll see. We'll monitor that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if he's going to renew or not right now. Except for him. Fix. Allegri is deprogramming from Pirlo and focusing on sacrificing for one player. Oh, and the focus. Yeah, that's true. Evening, gents. Better late than never. Yes, appreciate it, Davide. Appreciate you tuning in. If you guys could get that like button, if we can get up to 30 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Just for hanging out and doing that, it really helps us out here. Every little like helps, hopefully, so that way we feed the algorithm gods, so that way they get our videos can hit a little bit better. Fix is saying, remember, Allegri has 3 seasons. That is the stability. Yes. Justin, based on you and Mbappe, all UA fans over 30 bald. No, I don't know. It just happens to be that both of us are bald. Both really good guys, though, right? No, but I'd say, Julian's getting close. He's 28. He'll be hitting 30 soon. We'll see if that just falls out. It's also one of those weird things. It's funny. It's because I always thought, before Giuseppe, I was just like, am I the only bald guy of Italian? And I guess Allegri's out there too now, but he's not full bald. He hasn't gone. He hasn't brought it all home. He just trimmed it down like short. But I did wonder because I was like, gosh, every other Italian guy has such better hair than me. Like every single one. So like I just was like, maybe I was the one guy with bad genetics when it came to that. After he spends about 6 or 7, 8 or 9 years at Real Madrid, Mbappe is planning to come to Juve. He's doing a CR7. I don't know. Do you think Mbappe will hold up like CR7 by that time? Usman, I think you care if Juve lose, but your indifference comes from knowing there are many behind-the-scene issues. Come summer, we'll find out. We'll be optimistic about Juve. We're in the midst of changing gears. Yeah. Here's the thing. I care. I'm always gonna care, no matter what. How many times they lose, I'm probably gonna go from being more upset and sad to being more furious and angry and pissed off. The problem is when you get Juventus fans that go from being pissed off and angry to being apathetic. That's when the problem hits, and that's when you have bigger issues down the line. Is people get apathetic, and then they stop caring, they stop showing up, they stop tuning in, and that's what happens. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I mean, let's not get crazy here. Juve still finished top 4. It's not like we're getting close to relegation or anything like that. But at the same time, yeah, it starts to happen. I just think to me, there's an indifference of there's a part of I wonder how so many teams and fans do it, of clubs that are not even competitive. Say you're a Fiorentina fan. And when I say not competitive, I'm saying competitive for the Scudetto. You're just competing to be in that mid-range, maybe finish in top 8 or so. But that's really your range. And to me, that's got to be rough. YG, in 1560 we started poorly, Serie A, performed miracles in UCL to reach the finals. Maybe we can at least reach the semifinal, UCL, at best the final. Maybe. I just don't think this team doesn't have the pieces that we had then, What's up, Ryan Saliba? You've been talking with people. I just wanted to make sure I called you out and said, hey, Ryan, appreciate you being here. You're my guy. Mirko said, I really like to know your... Oh, wait. Okay, that's what you said that earlier. Sorry, Mirko. Let's see. YFG says, Justin, don't worry, bro. Most of us understand in the U.S., American football, basketball, and baseball are more popular than football. Yeah, it's just the culture. No apologies needed. Yeah, it's the culture. It's something I'm used to, but also it helps at least with some people who know what I'm talking about. Baseball, no, I'm just kidding. It's fine. It's just I don't know why it's a sport that's always talked about as America's pastime. And does that mean people in America give a damn? Or was it just back in the old days, the Babe Ruth days, when that was America's pastime because most people went to that stuff and baseball and football, American football hadn't really taken off yet. Does that make sense? But yeah, baseball is a good sport to go get drunk and eat hot dogs. That's what I look at it as, personally. Let's see. Allegri. Oh, wait. Did I skip some of these? Yeah, I did. Allegri apparently has a potty mouth when he's fuming. He's vocal, charming, and funny as hell. I want to hear more of it. I need to hear way more of it. It's a shame. Obviously, it's not in English. It's a shame it's not because I could use so much more of it. Anyway, but that would be a lot of fun. Let's see. We can't be dwelling on what ifs or maybes. We just have to keep fighting. Absolutely. Forza Juve, fino alla fine, right? I'm over 30 and have luscious hair. Thank you. Good for you, Debbie Day. Ryan, I'm 25 and have great hair. Well, welcome to you. I was 17, and like I said, I told this plenty of time on here, but basically, I know of Colpo Gobo. I don't know if I probably said that incorrectly. Sorry. Yeah, he is another bald, bearded YouTuber. He's in Italian, though, so I don't really understand a lot of it. So, it is what it is. But yeah, it was fun. I'm nearly 30. My hair is also luscious. The key is scalp massages and using shampoo. I think the key is genetics. It's honestly a lot genetics, guys. Let's not count out genetics. Also, I was kind of a dumbass as a kid. When I did, I used to gel my hair up. I would gel it all up and get all hard, and I would use it. It was the 90s. It was the late 90s. Everybody was spiking their hair, gelling it. I did it a little bit differently. It wasn't as it wasn't Sum 41 out here, if anybody knows that reference. But it was, I had spiked my hair a bit, and I used too much gel where it was rock hard. And my mom always told me, she goes, son, with your genetics and with the amount of hair gel you're using, you're gonna lose your hair. And it's one of those moments I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, mom, whatever. Anyway, Ryan says, thanks, Justin. I'm always here listening to you in this channel. I appreciate it. You guys are always the best. I appreciate each and every one of you and for tuning in and all your support, everything we do. I'm going to go over just a couple more things, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here. Let me see if there's one more topic or so that I really wanted to bring up. That was, let's see. Okay. The last question I really had, there's one that was more fun, but that one I'm going to save for another time whenever I have a guest with me and not just me doing this. But basically the question was, Juve fans cheering for other Serie A clubs in UEFA play. What are your all's opinions? Here's my personal opinion. Each and every one of those clubs can go bleep themselves. That's what it was. That's what it is. I don't care about any of them. I do not support them. Mainly because at first I was like, it was a little bit different. I'll be honest. Starting out, when I became a Juventus fan, before that I was an Italian fan first, right? So what I cared about was Italy. I was proud to be an Italian. I like the whole league as itself. And I know there's other guys. The IFT guys are great. Love those guys. Marco showed support to the channel as well. Good guys. And they, they have a business model that's focused on the success of Serie A. Me personally, I'm focused on the success of Juve. That's all I care about. If ever the team loses, the way I look at it is this. To me, it's a loser mentality. Just text fix. I gotta save that other one, and then we'll come back to your questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. When I look at Serie A, and I look at these other teams, and people say, you want Serie A not to be looked at as a farmers league or a laughing stock or whatever have you. You want to have success for Inter, for Roma, for Milan, Napoli, yada yada yada. First off, Napoli can go straight up themselves. My main opinion with that is because I do not like, I do not like De Laurentiis. Do not like him at all. Not a fan of his, and he is, he's one of the starting points. And then I just, in general, not a huge fan of Napoli. The city itself, it was the only place in Italy where I was like, okay, I'm ready to get out of here, ready to go anywhere else but here. That's kind of my personal opinion. But anyway. My main thing is I've noticed, and I've watched it from the few times, Juventus struggled over the last couple of years, just seeing all these just disgusting comments from fans of other clubs. So it's just been a lot of hate fueled toward Juventus, and at that point I was just like, okay, bleep these guys. I hope they lose everything. I don't care. A lot of things too, as I talk about too, and I bring it up a lot today. Right up again, Louisville. Here locally, Louisville played in a lower league, a lower conference. If you played in a lower conference, a lot of the times when they played in the Big East in football, because of the way football and stuff like that works out, American football, is you have to. You're grading a lot of your performance. You can win all your games, but if your league sucks, that ruins your rating, and your rating goes down. And because of your rating, you don't get high enough, and you can't play in the championship, the playoff, whatever have you. Because of that, because you're going to have other guys who have losses, but they played better opposition. When it comes to this, it's different. Now Louisville's in a good conference where literally, if they lose, if they beat everybody on the schedule and everybody else sucks, they still get in there with the top ranking because they're in that conference. Does that make sense? Just because they have an automatic bid or whatever have you. So that's my kind of thing. That's the way I look at it with, with Juve and Serie A. You finish top 4, you make it into Champions League regardless of how good your everybody else is. Who gives a damn about them? They could all lose for all I care, and every single one, be 500. Or, when I say 500, I mean win, half, lose half. Of course, it's a little bit different drawing. You know what I mean with points. Low points totals. Being 40 points off from first place. And I don't care at all. So that's my personal opinion. It's very rare that you'll ever see me support another club. When I say support, the only time you'll ever see this, and the only time to me that I ever think it makes sense to cheer for a Milan, a Napoli, an Inter, would just be it's a situation where if the guy that they're playing, they can keep them out, they can keep them, points below you. They can knock them down a peg or two, and then if that helps Juventus move up. And that's the only time you'll ever hear me cheer for them. It makes no sense to cheer for them otherwise. Anyway, that's just my little soapbox. That's all I really want to say. Because the main reason I saw it is because there's just so much nonsense and BS with fans all over Twitter and stuff being like, I support them, I'm going to cheer for them. And I'm like, get the hell over yourself. Like, no, you shouldn't. If you are, you don't get it. I feel like if you do cheer for those other teams, the teams that were the fans that are laughing, the fans that were enjoying when Calciopoli happened and all that happened, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It just makes no sense to me. It's just ignorant to cheer for those guys. Jacob said just finished FIFA 21 career mode and won Champions League. Even better was against Inter on PES. Nice. My first Chris Pratt film, he was great. Okay, we're going to get into that in just a sec. Let me read a couple comments and see what they say. Okay, you said that. Okay, got that one. Usman says, I don't support the league as such, although I have a soft spot for Atalanta and Roma. I tend to admire really well-built teams more than supporting the league. The only teams that I really have like a soft spot for is I think Palermo would be one. Obviously, they're not in Serie A right now. They're in Serie C, and they need to move back up. But I actually do have a soft spot for Palermo. I like them. But otherwise, I'm not cheering for anybody. Ryan says, I don't support Meta, Inter for sure. I don't want to support teams that don't like Juve, but I don't mind supporting the others because of growing City to be more successful as Premier League. That's fine. I mean, that's fine. It's going to be difficult to do that. It's going to be very difficult to do that. But I understand your point of view. Like I said, you guys are fine, free to have it. To me, it's hard to cheer for these other guys who are hating on Juve. I mean, you look at all of them. You look at, you see Camiso over Fiorentina. You see Sassuolo and the Carnivale and their nonsense. Even though it worked out beneficial, they're still not pro, or even, you don't even have to be pro, but like just supportive of, whatever, of your moneymaker club. Other Italian clubs need to know that during the 2010s, they put Serie A on the map. It's only no Serie A clubs that look lethal. Yeah. Hunting says, Inter I despise because they tried to destroy Juve. Napoli is just a disgusting club. Other teams I can tolerate more. That's fair. Okay, that's probably your best point. Milan, I don't hate Milan like other people that dislike Milan. Honestly, I said it before. If I weren't a Juve fan, Milan may have been one of the teams that maybe I would have chosen long term. I think I probably would have gone Palermo, honestly, just because my family's from Sicily. But I'd say overall, I didn't hate Milan. Milan's also more well known here in the United States. Davide says, I cheered for Inter in the Europa final. I know a lot of people frown about that, but you have to put your pride away sometimes and cheer for the greater good. I disagree. I disagree. I did not cheer for them. I cheered for them to lose, but that's fine. And Jacob says, I have more of a soft spot like Spezia, Lecce, and Brescia since they are improving. Absolutely. Okay, let me get to your comments now. Fix said, oh no. I unfavorited it, Fix. Okay, 1 second. Let me go back to the top. It's up here at the top. It's like your first comment. Okay, he said, watch Guardians, I guess you mean Guardians of the Galaxy. Solid film, but the soundtrack was pretty cheesy at times. What? Bro, that soundtrack is perfect. Like, the problem is, the reason is that, people made fun of it. I know I'm going to go on a tangent that people don't care about. I'm sorry. Anyway, when it comes to this, Guardians of the Galaxy, to me, their soundtrack's perfect. It works so well with this. Why is my iTunes coming on? I'm going to have to make sure I turn this off. There we go. Sorry, Siri's over here trying to sabotage the show. I think Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it works so well and it's so perfectly orchestrated. The problem is, to me, what's cheesy is if you have soundtracks like the frickin' Suicide Squad movie, where they just threw in songs for no freaking reason. Like they had absolute no reason or rhyme when it came to what was going on with the plot of the show. But then you have Guardians of the Galaxy. It made sense. It was his mom's playlist. She made it. You know what, Fix? You're done. You canceled. You canceled on the channel. I'm kidding. He also says Pulp Fiction, Jaws, Star Wars, Reservoir Dogs. Great soundtracks. I think the thing I found the Guardians music was cheesy, but it might just be the Marvel style. That opening scene, oof. Are you talking about the opening? Wait. Opening scene. Okay, Fix. Comment down below. The opening scene. Are you talking about the opening scene where his mom dies and all that stuff, and they're going through that, and then he gets picked up? Or are you talking about the opening scene after? Was that afterwards where he's like dancing to the song and all the stuff, and he gets the power thing? Because that thing was perfect. It was a cinematic masterpiece, guys. I don't know what Fix is talking about. Not too cheesy, but might be Marvel style. The opening was rough. See, the reason I like Marvel, that's one of the reasons. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. I know, guys. I know people are tapering off now because I'm not talking strictly Juve right now. But I'll say that here's my personal opinion. I love the Marvel movies. As an adult, as a full-grown man, one of the reasons I like it is I try to watch Batman and all that crap. And my problem with the Batman stuff was just more. They take themselves too seriously. Like, let's not kid ourselves. They're taking it way too seriously, and I think overall, what's sorry, I've got to call somebody out. Let's see. Oh, I already did. Alejandro, we talked about it. I told him I respectfully disagreed. Okay, Davide, if you're still here, Alejandro wants to call you out. Alejandro had to say, he circled I cheered for Inter in the Europa final. I know a lot of people frown upon that. He says, he said, WTF is wrong with people. No way in hell should you ever cheer for Inter, especially to win a trophy in a trophy match. That's our, not producer anymore. He's actually a part of the show now. He's graduated from producer, so you can come back and have a battle with him when he comes back. And then, of course, Usman's going in about DC. Dude, DC's fine. It's just, to me, as a grown man, like, there's some part about, like, superhero movies. I prefer the ones that are just more comedy and fun and joking around. Does that make sense? So like when I go in and watch, I prefer to watch Marvel because they don't take themselves too seriously. Like, no offense, like how seriously are you gonna take dudes with superpowers? I love Spider-Man, kid. That's why I like Spider-Man and Deadpool, characters like that who just it's all a joke. You know what I mean? It's part of it's a joke as much as you take and be serious about it. Davide, this is for you, Alejandro. He says you can hate all you want, but sometimes you just need a little love. So maybe that's all. Maybe that's what Alejandro needs. He needs a little love in his cold, dead heart. Oh, and now we got a dislike. Who's the dislike in here? Who just disliked it? You just came in here, dropped a dislike. Was it because they talked about DC and said negative about DC? That's fine. It's just if you're gonna leave the dislike, you leave the comment in here in the chat and be a man and show up and be a man and tell me why you disliked it. Fix says in the hospital was rough. The dancing scene was good, but after that, okay. What I will tell you, Fix, is I thought that the first time I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, it did not hit with me. It was a little bit and it was also never mind. There's reasons why let's just say my attentions were not fully. My attention wasn't fully on the movie. Let's just say that. Okay. That's what I'll say. Anyway. What? Davide, if that's you, my guy, you're done. You're done on the channel. If you disliked it, you're done on the channel. You're done. You're never reading and never comment from him. So you better remove that dislike or you switch it back to a like or you're done on the channel. Anyway, okay. Ryan says, what Suicide Squad do you like? The original one, the new one? I think the new one was better. I watched it. It was better. It was good. It's just I'm also just not a DC guy, and that's my only thing. It's nothing bad about DC. It's just not my cup of tea. It's just nothing that I personally get into for the most part. I also wasn't a guy who grew up like I watched some stuff. I watched the '90s. When I was a kid, there was the '90s Batman cartoon. I think I watched a little bit of it, but I watched the Spider-Man cartoon. I watched the what else was it? Oh, the X-Men, duh. The X-Men, all that. I watched that for sure. But yeah, I just prefer, that's just what I grew up on. Iron Man quality film. Yeah, the first one was really good. I didn't care at all about Iron Man until I watched that movie, and I was like, okay, this is actually decent. Jacob says I prefer Marvel more because I grew up with Marvel as much as DC. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's fine. You can like your other stuff. I'm just saying. What do I think about Deadpool comedian? I appreciate this. We talked about this before. Fix brought it up. I love the Deadpool movies. I love Deadpool 2 way more than Deadpool 1. I think it's more of just, I don't care about the original, what was I going to say? I don't care about the origin story. You can move past the origin story. We've done it enough. We don't need that stuff played out. It was fine. It was funny. To me, the second one, though, was hilarious. Like, I laughed so much more at the second one. They were both funny, but I love that one. Davide, like I said, you're about to be done. You're about to be done. Oh, no, he said, I would never dislike it because I love you. I just can't give Marvel my love. That's fine. That's fair. People like what they like. Men don't like Marvel, dude. I don't know about that one though. The men don't like Marvel. There's so many people I know that get on here and that are grown men older than me that watch it. I think Marvel's become a cultural thing. It's like a universal thing. Maybe it's more of an American thing, but culturally, everybody watches those movies. And I was one. And then I'll get off here. We'll be done. But when it came to Marvel from the beginning, the reason I like it so much. Sorry, I got a few people messaging me. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'll give a pass for Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Reynolds. Greatest part, being part of superhero movies. Dude, the reason I love these movies is, like I said, superhero movies in general sound dumb. But when you actually watch them and they're actually just, they don't take themselves seriously. That's why it's good. It's because it's just fun and nonsense. Thor, the first two Thors sucked ass. They were terrible movies. Then you had Taika Waititi come in, and he's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do Ragnarok. We're going to use Chris Hemsworth, who actually, if you look at Chris Hemsworth, he is a comedic genius. And they had him come in there, and he was perfect. It was fantastic. That's my personal opinion. Guys, if you could, hit some likes in here. Can we get to 30 likes? If you're still here, please just give me a couple more likes, and then we can get out of here. I'd really appreciate the support. Please, guys, I'm pandering for likes. I'm begging likes. What do you need me to do? What do I need to do to get some more likes in the chat here? That's what I'm doing. Ryan says, but do you love the same team that wants Juve dethroned and put them in? Oh, you're talking about that stuff. That's fair. RB Com says we need a repeat of 15-16. We need Max Allegri to step up and get the results now. I watched all the compilations of our 15-16 comeback, and it gives me some hope. And then Fino Alafine, my friend, appreciate it. Fino Alafine, my guy. What I'd say is overall, when it comes to them, okay, one more like, guys. If just one more person, whoever it is, let me know. Yeah, you got the like. Thank you all. I appreciate it. You guys are my besties. I appreciate it. What I'd say is, yeah, definitely. I just don't think it's a fair comparison of 15-16 to what we have now, talent-wise. That's the only thing that keeps me a little bit apprehensive. But maybe Allegri, my guy, is the magician. Maybe he'll get something done. Final question of the day goes to Ryan Saliba. It says, did you watch Ready Player One? I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it either. It was one of those odd movies that I just feel like that was one that, maybe this is what people see when they watch the Marvel movies. I saw it and I was just like, this looks kind of cringe. And that was my personal thing when I saw it. I was like, yeah. if you need the like twerking for the camera, we'll see. We'll see when we get down there. Actually, that's Julian's job. Julian's is in much better shape to be twerking in front of the camera than me. So we'll have him take his shirt off and do all that stuff for you guys in the future. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it now, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us today's episode of the Bianconeri Zone Live. It was fun hanging out with you guys, talking about Juventus, talking all that good stuff going forward in the future of our club. Hopefully we'll get things going and get on the right track come Sunday, and hopefully we'll pick up that win and 3 points that are much needed. Anyway, yes. Come on, it's not Twitch. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. And also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all the latest updates regarding Juventus and all that good stuff that we bring you here on the channel. Make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. If you haven't already and you're here and you're on Twitter, follow me at Justin Sofro. I'm going to try to put up some updates there as well myself. And then also make sure you follow my boy Julian Genotti at Genotti151 as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. This is awkward. I forgot to hit the button.